And yeah, we love it. We're kind of that I guess sort of success story where we both had corporate jobs, and we were blessed last year to actually both resign from our corporate jobs. We both get to do this full time. So it's kind of a dream come true, to be honest.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much. So let's get into these questions. How were
Sure.
you introduced to Beachbody?
Well, I mean, I actually introduced myself to Beachbody. I've told this story so many times. I mean, my wife and I we were like kind of your dream customers. I think we were customers for probably 9 or 10 years. I mean, I had gained a ton of weight in my past life. About 8, 9 years ago, I gained about 60 pounds. I found P90X. So I basically worked out with Tony Horton in my basement for a long time. That introduced me to Beachbody. And I think we just bought every DVD set that ever came out. I mean, we have a stack like that in our garage. And probably, I would say it sometime in 2014. And I tell this all the time because I want coaches to understand it's why you need to keep inviting people. And I've shared this over and over, is like my wife and I, we posted on social media, but we weren't avid people before coaching. But we were like 2-bag Shake-Yo people in our household a month. We were your dream customers. And not once were we ever invited to an accountability group, not ever invited to coaching, ever. So there are people out there you haven't reached yet that want to do this business, but you have to do those vital behaviors. You have to reach out to people. So I actually did the research myself. I think my sister-in-law told me about coaching, and it took me a little while, and I literally Googled like top coach in Canada, and I found Miguel, my upline coach, and the rest was history.
Awesome. I think that's so important. Invite, invite, invite. You just never know what's happening with your customers.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So once you signed up, can you describe what your early days were like?
Yeah, so it was January, I know the day, January 29th, 2015. And after I signed up, I actually ghosted for about a month. I knew I was going on holidays, and I kind of have that personality where I'm either all in or all out. And I think I told Miguel, I was like, listen, I'm going on holidays, so you're probably not going to hear from me for a while. I think it was about 6 weeks where he never really heard much from me. And I'm sure he thought, there goes another coach who signed on and isn't going to do anything. But when I came back, I was excited about the training that he offered. And I didn't know a whole lot. I'd never been in an accountability group. So, and this is my advice for people, is just be super resourceful. If that's my one little tip or characteristic for a coach, it's just be resourceful. I didn't know what an accountability group was. I'd never been in one, but I booked one about 4 weeks up. After I got back from vacation, I was like, I need to run an accountability group. Someone told me I had to do that. So I literally just started Googling, how do you do an accountability group? I actually found, I think it was Megan Ewaldson's, she had some document of what an accountability group structure was. And I just used that. And I mean, I just, day after day, then I learned what Emerald was and Diamond was. And I just, through Miguel's training and stuff, I just figured stuff out. And it was just learning as we went. I think some people are like, it's the start that stops them. They feel like they need to know everything. Just go, just do. You'll figure it out over time.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That you could drop the mic right there and everything would be great. Be resourceful. Google it. I love that hey, that Google thing, use it. What do you feel are some attributes or habits that you have that contribute to your success?
Oh man. I mean, like most coaches, I didn't have a network marketing background. I haven't really done this. I guess I've kind of done sales, even though I don't feel like this is sales, but I think you have to be uber consistent. And I mean, you hear a lot about effort and hard work, and yeah, it does take that. I think everyone's definition of hard work is different, and you have to evaluate what that is for yourself. What might be a 10 out of 10 for me might be different for you. I don't know. But I think just showing up with consistency. And from day one, I really treated this like a huge opportunity and huge business. It's not that I went through the comp plan and was like, oh, wow, the potential is to earn this and this and this. I never did that. But I'm spending my time on something. So why wouldn't I spend all my efforts and energy and resourcefulness and try to look at everything about the business? And that's just, if I'm going to do something, I tackle it with 100%. So I think consistency, get engaged in your business. And part of that is like, are you showing up on NWCs? Are you showing up on your uplines team? It's all that stuff. And I just showed up every day. And I know that sounds simple and maybe not what people want to hear, but there's a level of engagement that you have to self-evaluate. And what's your level of engagement in this business? Is it up here? Are you kind of in here? Because that's really going to determine where your success goes. And then one other thing too is I think I had the ability early on is just to take the emotion out of this business. It's like, people who are in regular sales jobs, pharmaceutical, I sold pet food. When someone didn't want to buy a certain brand or line of whatever I was selling, a dog toy or whatever, I didn't take that personally. I didn't take it emotionally. It didn't sink me down. Unfortunately, in this business, I think as we talk to people online and social media, everyone takes it so personally that they're saying no to you to buy on demand or whatever you're doing. It's like, take the emotion out of it. This is a business. And a lot of people are going to say no. The most successful people in this company get the most no's. So you can't let that, crush you. It's just, don't take it so personal. It's just that person's not ready. So
I love that. That's one of the best things that I've heard in a really long time, taking the emotion out of it. Absolutely. So what advice do you have for a brand new coach who doesn't know where to start? What can they start doing today to achieve long-term success?
I feel like even 3.5 years ago, and I can imagine coaches have been doing this for 7, 8, 10 years, there is so much information out there, almost too much information. YouTube has everything you need. Even for us, we post all our training and team calls on YouTube for people. Like, everything's accessible. So I think, honestly, if I think you got to get engaged, like I said before, and do the research and be a sponge and learn. But I think if you're a brand new coach, I think social media is obviously important. Yeah, there's people that have built this business without it. I think that's great. I think social media is an amazing tool. So if you're brand new and you're not sure what to do, show up for the team calls, obviously, show up for the national wake up call, and start posting on social media. And if you're not sure what to post on social media, I would be like, share what you love about the programs. You don't want to be an advertisement, obviously, but share how you feel, share what you love about this. And then also in your posts, share how you've changed. I always tell our coaches, and it's like, try to tell a story when you're on social media, but more than anything, talk about where you used to be and talk about how you feel now. And that, I know that's a really simplistic form, but just start posting your journey on social media and talk about what you love and how you feel. And then you're going to get better. I have the flashbacks in my Facebook memory of 3 years ago, and my posts when I started were like cringeworthy, but you learn and you grow. But, taking action helps you get better, and you build confidence from action, even if it's not very good action. So
again, that consistency piece. Awesome. And I love how share how you've changed, share how you feel. That's something that's going to attract those people. What about the coach who is struggling or who is thinking about giving up? What advice do you have for them?
I think you need to be really honest with yourself and self-evaluate what you're doing. Gary Vee talks a lot about this, and I'm a big believer in it. I think our society lacks patience in general. We go to school for 4 years and go $100,000 in debt to get a degree and hopefully get a job, and people can't do coaching for 3 months. They quit before they even get started. So I think you have to be honest with yourself. If you've been doing this for 6 years and it's just not working, I think you have to look at what's going on, but you have to be honest with the daily actions that you're doing. And I think a really good question too is, I think it's really easy to do this business and spend a lot of hours on it and grind or whatever you want to call it, even though I consider this business not really hard work. Like we're drinking shakes and we're inviting people to an opportunity. There's a lot tougher things in the world to be doing. But I think you really have to ask yourself, do I love this? Like, do I really love this? Because if you love something, it never feels like work. And I think for Kim and I, we spend a lot of hours on the business. It's because we love it. It's like it's sometimes for us, it's hard to turn off because we love it so much. And I think that's a real honest question you have to ask yourself. And I get to the love of it comes with success and stuff like that, but you have to find that line and really be honest with yourself. So.
Absolutely. Yes. Like any other small business, it takes time to be successful for sure. But that love aspect, that definitely
give yourself time. Give yourself time.
Love it. What is the best advice someone has given you regarding your business?
Oh man, I've had so much good advice. It's hard for me to pick one. I think Miguel told me even when I started, he literally said to me, like, Jamie, you won't be successful if you don't do personal development. You'll either quit or this won't work for you. And I know every coach on here is like, oh, personal development, PD, I hear it so much. Yeah, pick your book, do podcasts. I'm telling you, I tell my coaches this. I think people think like personal development is meant to, it's meant to build you up and make you stronger and make you think differently about ideas and stuff. But maybe sometimes what they don't think it does is social media is a huge part of this business. And, I feel like Kim and I, maybe that's one of our strengths, but we get our material, we get our content, we get our ideas from personal development. Like all that stuff that flows into our brain from the PD and the podcast and stuff, it's not just about making you more strong to take the no's that you're going to get and all that stuff and, make you a smarter person or all that stuff. It's literally to fill your head up with content and ideas so you can actually share that with other people and you can talk to prospective clients, talk to prospective coaches. For me, PD, and I never used to do it before coaching. I really didn't. It's everything. It is a game changer. And I tell coaches this, I'm like, you will not be successful if you don't do it every day. It's a steadfast rule. I live by it. And I think you can't actually talk about it enough. And I know it gets tiring for coaches, but it's legit. It's it. So
I 100% agree. I am a personal development junkie and I like to compare it to working out. It's really easy to do and easy to fall in love with, but it's even easier to fall out and not do. So it's one of those things that's absolutely important. So awesome. I completely agree. Okay. So now we're going to move on to our speed round. So these are really fast answers, but they're also very interesting for everyone that's watching us. On average, how much time do you spend working your business per day?
Okay. So before, when we had our corporate jobs, so we had 2 corporate jobs. I know you're going to have trouble getting a quick answer from me, by the way. When we had corporate jobs and that we were working with the 2 young kids, I would say we probably did about 4 to 6 to 8 hours, depending on when we could. We really dove in and tackled it. I mean, we're committed to the business. You have to be. Now I would probably still say we do anywhere from, depending on the day, I'd say 6 to 10 hours, probably, depending.
All right. Awesome. What is your average Success Club each month?
If I averaged out, I think I've been now doing this for 41, 42 months. It's probably about 30 is the average on quick math. I mean, obviously on launch, you have a bit more and stuff. But yeah, I would say about 30. I'm not a huge recruiter, so to speak.
Okay, awesome. What percentage of time do you focus on your own business versus your team?
Well, I mean, we probably run this business a little bit differently, I would say, because Kim and I run it. We actually treat our business like a company, not saying other people don't do that, but because both of us do this full time, we really treat it like Kim does the things that she's really good at and loves and is passionate about. And I kind of do the things that I really love and are passionate about in the business. So we actually mix the stuff that we do. So I probably do a little bit more team stuff, but I would probably say 60 to 70% is personal and 30 to 40 is probably team stuff. She still does a lot of team stuff, but it's just, we really looked at our business a couple of years ago. We're like, let's do the stuff that we love to do in our business. So we both kind of mix it. And my thing, I see you're not getting a short answer from me. My other thing is like, I know a lot of things are like, what can guys do in the business or what can spouses do in your business? It's like, show them some of the back office stuff. Sometimes guys are more focused on income or how you can earn more income. So maybe get them involved that way, just as a little dude tip. So
I love that because I actually work with a lot of males. I have a lot of male coaches and it's great to hear that little piece of advice. And I love that nugget that you said, do what you're good at. That helps to get that little bit of passion in there and make it not seem so much like work.
Yeah. Right? I still think you have to do everything. You have to do all components of the business. But if your spouse is on board, kind of figure some of that stuff out too.
Love it. Awesome. Okay. See, now I'm getting sidetracked. How many coaches do you enroll each month?
I'm probably about 5 to 10. Actually, I really focus on, like I said, we're not huge recruiters, but again, we recruit together too. So some of those numbers get skewed, but yeah, I would say 5 to 10. We're really about focusing on who we have and not so much overall. So.
Awesome. Okay, so now is the fun part. Have you heard of the hat question?
I have. I'm nervous.
Okay. Is the one that you really don't want to get?
Like, what's my sign or something? Sagittarius, by the way. But
okay, let's see. Oh, this is a fun one. What was the first CD that you ever owned?
CD?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're going to age me. Oh no. Do you know, it was actually, it's weird that I remember this. It was, the band name was Boston.
Boston.
Boston was the band name. I can't remember the title of the CD. I bought it in Terrace, British Columbia, Canada. I don't even know how I remember that. That's my first CD. It's crazy.
I remember my first CD too. It was the Cranberries.
Oh, nice. Great CD. Great band.
I think everybody remembers their first CD, so that's
Love
awesome.
it. Love it.
Jamie, thank you so much for being with us today. You talked to us a lot about inviting, being consistent, doing what you love, sharing how you change with people. Do I love this? Really thinking about, do I have a passion for this business? Is it going to go somewhere? So thank you so much for your insight. We really appreciate your time, and the recording will stay up here forever and ever. So thank you so much, and have a great day.
Cool. Thanks, Mary. Thanks for having us.
Bye.